How can a single, seemingly ordinary day tell you the entire story of a nation's soul? Well, that's what we're about to find out. We're going to zoom in on one specific day, February 4th, 2026, to see how three totally different events can weave together into this beautiful tapestry of India's living heritage. What connects them? That's the real mystery we're here to solve. It all comes down to the number three. Yep, just three. We've got three completely separate stories unfolding across India, and each one touches on a different pillar of its identity. You've got nature, culture, and spirit. Now, on the surface, a protected wetland, a community's protest, and a spiritual anniversary, they seem to have absolutely nothing in common. But trust me, as we're about to see, they're connected in ways you might not expect. So here's our game plan for connecting these dots. First, we're going to look at the land itself, India's incredible natural treasures. Then, we'll dive into a community's fight for their traditions and their dignity. And finally, we'll spend some time with this powerful legacy of spiritual compassion. Let's get into it and see how these threads come together. All right, first up, let's talk about the land. On this very day, India had a huge win for its environmental heritage. It designated two new Ramsar sites, which, if you don't know, are wetlands of international importance. This is a really big deal for conservation. With these two new additions, India's grand total is now a whopping 98 Ramsar sites. And that number, 98, it isn't just a statistic to feel good about. It represents a serious national commitment to preserving these absolutely crucial ecosystems that our biodiversity depends on. Every single site is a vital piece of a much, much larger ecological puzzle. And check this out. These two new sites could not be more different from each other. On one hand, you've got the Patna Bird Sanctuary in Uttar Pradesh. It's this beautiful, classic freshwater lake right in the middle of the lush Gangetic Plains. Then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have the Chari Dhan wetland in Gujarat's super-arid Kutch district. It's a seasonal, salty marsh. That contrast right there just goes to show you the incredible ecological diversity that's now getting international protection. Pretty amazing. Okay, so protecting the land is one massive part of heritage. But what about the people? What about their stories? Our second story takes us over to Rajasthan, where the Kabylia community is in the middle of a fight for something so fundamental to their identity, the right to a dignified final resting place for their people. So you might be asking, who exactly are the Kabylia? Well, they're a nomadic tribe from Rajasthan, and they're traditionally known as snake charmers. Their folk songs, their dances, they are so vibrant and unique that UNESCO itself recognized them as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So we're not just talking about a community here. This is a living, breathing piece of world culture. But here's the thing that's so hard to wrap your head around. Despite having this incredible global recognition from UNESCO, the community is facing this profound daily challenge. You'd think they would be celebrated, supported, but their reality is something else entirely. So what is their struggle really about? The National Human Rights Commission actually took notice of their protest, and it all boils down to the simple and frankly heartbreaking plea. It's a fight for a final resting place. All they're asking for is a designated burial ground, a sacred space where they can honor their dead according to their own traditions. And why is this so critical for them? It's because their traditions are totally unique. While they follow Hinduism, the Kabylia don't cremate their dead. They have this distinct tradition of burial, and they mark each grave with an idol of Lord Shiva's Nandi bull. Without their own land, this sacred practice, this thing that's at the very core of their identity, is under threat. So, from a fight for cultural rights, our third and final story shifts gears to a spiritual legacy. On this very same day, leaders were paying tribute on the Prakash Purab, that's the birth anniversary, of Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, the seventh Sikh Guru. He is remembered by a very specific and beautiful title, the Tender-Hearted Guru. And that's not just a nice name. It perfectly captures the absolute essence of his leadership and the values he championed that have been passed down for generations. Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's leadership was really defined by this deep, unwavering commitment to peace and humanitarian service. Think about it. In a time of conflict, he made healing his priority. He showed this profound compassion for all living beings. His legacy is truly one of service and this relentless dedication to equality for everyone. He was also a master at upholding the Sikh tradition of Miri Piri. So what is that? Well, think of it as this essential balance between temporal or worldly authority, that's Miri, and spiritual authority, that's Puri. He showed everyone that a leader could be strong and responsible in worldly matters while staying deeply, deeply rooted in spiritual compassion and peace. So let's bring it all together now. We've seen the protection of natural heritage in those incredible wetlands. We've witnessed the raw struggle for cultural heritage with the Kalabiya people. And we've remembered the spiritual heritage of compassion left by Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. See? These aren't separate stories at all. They are three vital living facets of India's evolving legacy. And all of this brings us to the final and most important question. When you look at these events from just one single day, you realize that heritage isn't just about old monuments and museums. It's in our ecosystems, it's in our community traditions, and it's in the philosophies that guide us. So the real question isn't just about what we inherit, but what we actively choose to protect. How will we, all of us, preserve our living heritage for all the days to come?